Hi, everybody. So let's get straight into it. Prosecutors are expected to issue a bench warrant out for victim number three. Now, victim number three did not show up, and they don't know where she is till this very second. Now, according to the rumors, victim number three is Allie Carter.
Key witness in the Diddy trial has gone missing. This is super concerning because she is crucial for the case against one of the biggest names in music. She was actually going under a pseudonym like 3 other witnesses in the case, but she decided to waive that right and reveal her identity in her testimony. But now she's MIA. The federal prosecutors don't know where she is, her lawyers don't know where she is, and the prosecutors are using her testimony. For now, she's known as victim 3, and she was subpoenaed, which means that she is required to be there. There's a lot going on. In the coming weeks, we are going to find out whether Diddy used his influence and power to sexually exploit women for more than 2 decades.
And Allie Carter was supposed to testify that she saw minors at Diddy's parties. Now, a lot of people say she's lying, this and that, but what can be proven is she spoke about this way before any of this stuff even began.
Diddy parties. Those are assault parties. And I was one of the kids that was one of the party favors. And a party favors means that you're set on top of a table and you're used as a toy. Live in the world you think you do. Everybody that you think is not guilty is about to show you who they really are. I've been screaming for years. So now, if you see me over here trying to live a normal life and tying up loose ends as justice, mind your business. Or don't. Or don't. Nobody ever thinks about the victims. Nobody. The victims' lives get turned around when the predators' lives want to just get announced.
Now, at this point, I feel like I'm not even qualified to say whether she's a liar or if she's telling the truth. But I will say one thing that's very eerie. Right before she went missing, she made this tape and she was insinuating that someone had broken to her home and someone was after her.
You get pressured, attacked, stalked, and hunted down for your own information. You get abused and re-victimized again by people who wanted to argue a back and forth this week like that fucking mattered. Okay, you had Stu Peters and Timothy Charles Homestead going back and forth, and nobody has even bothered. Not that I give a damn, and not that I understand that you guys are gonna be that selfish, but nobody has bothered to apologize for all the hell that has happened. But you guys were arguing back and forth, and in that meantime, we lost our home. You don't believe me? Here you go. What once was a full house, we were still paying rent on our house. What we were doing this whole time was moving everything because our house is gone. Our house is gone. This is the speaking out. What was our beautiful 3-bedroom acre home on 21225 Standing Rock Avenue, because everybody has the address, because organizations that were attached to Marx, Sawyer, and many other organizations decided to put out the address, my license plate to one of my cars, and many other of my So here you go. You can have it, right? Because this is what happens when you speak out. This is what happens when you tell all the truth. This is what happens when you decided to stand up for the children, and when you understand that survivors don't just get to do a seminar, and when you understand that survivors don't just get to just be and then show up somewhere and talk and monetize everything that they're saying. When you realize that that's bullshit, then you will understand. Look at the tactics and pay attention. I don't give a damn about money, numbers on my platforms. You can have all of it. You took everything.
Look at the tactics. What is she talking about? She better be glad that I'm not a conspiracy theorist, because that seems very eerie, especially since we just heard Kid Cudi testify saying that he believes that Diddy sent someone to his house to break in. So, very, very eerie. Also, too, she wasn't the only one going around saying that there were minors at Diddy's parties. There's a woman named Tanea Williams who actually talked about it on a documentary with TMZ.
I believe to be one of P. Diddy's freak offs.
Now,
Singer-songwriter Tania Wallace told TMZ's Harvey Levin for the Tubi special, The Downfall of Diddy, Inside the Freak-Off.
Looking like, are those midgets? Because people were trying to, it's people over them, like it's people trying to hide what they're doing.
Adults who are little people, or are you talking about minors?
Am I gonna get in trouble? I don't want to say I witnessed any of that crazy stuff, but we all have common sense. Little people. It's not supposed to be there.
Underage people.
It's a shame.
Now, Tanae was in this documentary called TMZ Presents The Downfall of Diddy's Inside the Freak-Offs. And Diddy's attorneys ended up suing TMZ for this documentary. They said that this documentary is full of lies. Diddy never met Tanae and that they just made this up. And anytime anyone tries to question TMZ or Tanae, they said they're not allowed to talk about it because it's an active lawsuit. Now, the prosecutors have every right to subpoena Allie because in a federal case, you're not allowed to not testify once you've been subpoenaed. And according to the rumors, she definitely was subpoenaed. So let me tell you what some things can happen. So the rumor is they want to put a bench warrant out for her arrest. That means that she's pulled over for anything, a speeding ticket, stealing from Walmart. I don't know where I got that from, but anything, then it'll be a warrant out for her arrest and she would be taken to jail. Anyway, it also says that she can be held in contempt of court. She could be fined, jailed, or both. She could have a warrant out for her arrest, which we just discussed, and they would take her and hold her in custody. There could be fines and penalties. Wow. And she could be charged with criminal charges in some cases. The criminal prosecution could get her for obstruction of justice. Whoa, didn't know all that was involved. The only reasons that she would be allowed not to testify since she's been subpoenaed would be a medical emergency, a legally valid privilege, I don't know what that means, improper service, pretty much you got to come. Look, you just got to come, okay? Because if not, there's too many things that they can do to you. But in issuing this bench warrant, if it's given to them, and she comes in and testifies, that will be another witness for the prosecution that doesn't want to testify. They call them hostile witnesses. Just like Diddy's ex-assistant was, just like about everybody, the escorts, these are all hostile witnesses that don't want to participate. So when that happens, they don't give you the best testimony. You know, they act like no, it was no big deal. You know, can't understand why I'm here, that kind of stuff. And that really can affect the jury. You know, we have been sensing like, you know, they've got a case, but it doesn't seem very strong. When you bring these witnesses on, they're not telling us anything, you know. No, there's no smoking gun. There's no smoking gun so far, I would say, except for Kid Cudi's testimony. Kid Cudi's testimony was honest. You could tell that he wanted to be there. You could tell he was just telling his story. But these other witnesses, you know, you can really poke holes in their case. And that's what you don't need for this lawsuit. So as of now, they are expected to ask the judge to grant them a bench warrant out for Allie Carter. This is a mess, people. This is a mess. I don't know. Another hostile witness? It doesn't sound good. But you let me know your thoughts down in the comments section. Until next time, bye for now.
Know who's on that list? We all know. Well, some of us. Who majority of the list is, you know that. Let's be real here. You've seen the black books, you've seen I don't know how many books of the laptop from hell, you've seen the list of people that have come out, I don't know how many times. You know who's on that list. So what are you going to do about it? Are you going to demand where's the victims? Are we going to talk about the victims? How many of you will it take to get on your local media and say, talk about the children that are missing? Just talk about the children that are missing in the area. I don't know. There's some people who are like, for you, how can we have lost everything again. We started to try to build shit back a little bit. We were like, you know what, maybe there's a chance I can go back to online school. Just leave the internet alone for a second. It's fine, nothing's gonna happen, so our story is out there, it's whatever. People are gonna forget about us. I don't even care. You know, that was the kind of the way that I was going. And then his ass got arrested, and then it all changed again. And we had to get up and move. And now I'm sitting here like, alright, what now? What now? Do you know how many news reporters we've written? Do you know how many times we've asked you guys to contact your local news, your local police department, your local everything, and ask them where the hell are the kids? What's going on? Now you have all this information out in front of you about these elite celebrities. If everybody started demanding the truth, especially from these truth tellers, the podcasters, people who do interviews, what do you think will happen? And somebody said we were so ignored too. I know. Somebody got to do something. Somebody got to start somewhere. I don't know what else to do. I don't know that there should be rage.